Hey, actor friends, it's Michael Kostroff. Um, Years ago, I was in a regional production. It was very early in my career. I was in a regional production of a musical, and during rehearsals, our lead, who was in a huge role, and he was an older guy, decided or realized that he couldn't do the part. Well, I think he got it in his head that he couldn't do the part, that it was too much for him, and he got kind of overwhelmed. And so, with 8 days to go, the director asked me if I would step in, and the older gentleman took my role. We switched parts, and I was. It was a big, sudden thing to be thrust into the lead of the show. And I called a friend back in LA, and I was very excited, and she gave me a bit of wisdom that I've never forgotten. She said, "I know it's very exciting, but I want you to never forget this, what I'm about to tell you. Leading actors must lead." I have never forgotten that piece of advice and wisdom and protocol. Um, it's very exciting to be the lead in a show, or one of the leads. I believe that it also comes with a responsibility. You become part of the group that sets the tone, along with the director, producer, writer, music director, whatever the team is. You become part of the group that sets the tone for the rehearsals or the filming, whatever medium you're in. And you have a greater responsibility than usual for professionalism, a great attitude, avoiding gossip, keeping complaints to yourself, keeping disagreements and differences to yourself, and talking about that with your friends, or talking about that with your friends outside of rehearsal, or your spouse or your partner outside of rehearsal. It's great to have somebody to vent with, but you have to keep it out of rehearsal. I've been surprised to discover that when I'm playing a lead and I have the biggest burden, I get the least amount of sympathy and support. I have to be daddy. People come to me with their problems. I have to be the person who encourages them. When I'm exhausted and it's a 2-show day, I have to be the one who says, piece of cake, let's go, let's do it again. We're great. And, and that is part of the responsibility of being a lead. And that's, I say that as a traditionalist. It's part of the tradition. I've known some actors who are just terrific at leading a company because it really affects the show. It's true, and again, in all media. I may have mentioned how great Mariska Hargitay is at this on SVU. She really, she sets a great example. She never phones it in. She will work with newer actors. She's cracking jokes. She's lifting the energy. And when you find yourself in a company where the leading actor is not leading, step up. Step up. Be a leader. Boost the morale. Hold yourself to a high standard of ethics and professionalism. Make sure you're modeling things like how to take a note properly, which is to say, great, thanks. That's how you take a note properly. You don't argue with the director. Make sure you're keeping your complaints private, and just, whatever your version of being a professional is, you want to model that. I've seen great examples of that, and I've seen poor examples of that, and it really does have a big effect on the final product. So that's my message today. Leading actors must lead. It's not a burdensome thing. It actually gets you off yourself. It's kind of great, and I just sort of when I'm in that position, I consider myself not allowed to do certain things, not allowed to gossip, not allowed to bellyache, not allowed to, be in a bad mood in front of people, and kind of helps me steer clear of some of that stuff. Tell me what you think. Do you accept this as part of the job? Um, I think even if you are not playing leads at this point, it's a good thing to file away and practice. I will say that I have been on a couple of things where the leading actor was not so much of a leader, and I don't mean they were bad people or anything. Sometimes they were really shy or introverted or just didn't see that as part of their job, and I've really come in behind and made sure to make people feel welcome and done all the other things. It's a good practice. All right, friends, that's my thought for the day, for the week, and I'll be back with more next week. Tell me what you think. All right, bye.